At dusk in Nevada's Black Rock Desert, the lamplighters of the annual Burning Man project make their nightly rounds. They lift their kerosene lanterns to the lampposts that line the streets of the temporary town they call Black Rock City. The posts lead to the giant figure of the man, lit up in neon. Their light is mostly symbolic, like Burning Man himself. After dark, the full moon and bright neon overpower the little lamps. But lighting the streets is one of the many civic duties fulfilled by those who come here every year to build a temporary town in the desert and watch a man burn.
This is a dynamic place. It's a place where that you can express yourself individually. People as frequently join together in groups to create team camps and communal expressions that are shared with the entire city.
When Larry Harvey first burned a wooden man on the beach in San Francisco in the mid-'80s, he likely didn't dream the Burning Man project would grow from a happening among friends to a city of more than 40,000 souls. But now that they've been creating Black Rock City from a clean slate every year for 2 decades on this barren, ancient lake bed, it's worth considering what lessons can be learned from this city where nearly anything goes and almost everyone participates.
The people who come here, so many regard it as a home rather than merely an event.
Granted, not every city is going to fashion itself on this open-minded society, and because they re-sketch the plan every year, Black Rock City can reinvent itself at will, something an aging city would love to be able to do.
Robert Moses, eat your heart out.
But in a conversation with Larry Harvey, now Burning Man's executive director, 5 ideas came to light that Harvey says other cities should take to heart. First, get rid of cars. Except art cars, what they call mutant vehicles here.
We've eliminated all the baleful effects of the automobile from our streets. And that's quite a chore, to get Americans out of their cars. And we got them on to bicycles, and the closest thing to public transit is art cars. So artists make these cars, and it turns into an informal public transportation system. And they all travel 5 miles an hour. Wow. And now we see interesting things. New York City is on the way to turning Times Square into a plaza. At first, the police were afraid people would hit each other with the cheap lawn chairs they provided. And what they did is people discovered that their own agency, they could make their world, which is what we give everyone a chance to do here. And instantly, with no direction, they made conversational circles and all kinds of things.
Next, encourage self-reliance, like having everyone deal with their own trash.
I mentioned to the mayor of New York City a couple years ago that we didn't have any garbage cans in Black Rock City. And believe me, this city generates, some waste. And I'm trying to cut down on that, but his eyebrows arched nearly into orbit. He's very struck by that extraordinary fact. We've actually made everyone, just through dissemination of culture and values, take responsibility for their share of the consumption stream.
Third, rethink commerce. Build things together.
We don't take any sponsors here, and there's no vending here at all. It's merely for the purpose of letting people experience what it's like to live in a large-scale community in which there's nothing between you and your interaction with others. You buy a ticket, we're commercial in that respect. There's nothing wrong with commerce, but there's something wrong with living in a world in which you're continually manipulated by sort of icy pandemonium of extraneous wills, that are marketing things and insulated from contact with your fellows, and it's just a revelation to people what life is like. It's just the way life, what life is like when you remove that element.
Fourth, don't be afraid to use shame to foster virtue.
There are only so many people that are going to be virtuous. And in your own life, you're only virtuous a part of the time, and you know it. The rest of the time, all of us, we're actions are regulated by the expectations of those around us. And shame is as powerful as virtue, and probably more efficacious more often.
And finally, when the going gets tough, bring in the artists.
I think that art should imitate life, but I'm not happy till then life starts to imitate art. Every year we try to create an overarching theme that's about the world. Because what good is this if it isn't about how to live the rest of your life?
Right.
Culture is a wonderful thing for ordering society. I know that's crazy, but when things get tough, the city fathers tend to invite their artists downtown. I have noticed that. And so I think it's an opportunity for thinkers and for creators these days.
Every year, Burning Man has an art theme, and Harvey says next year the theme is Metropolis. He wants to explore these urban issues more fully with the greater Black Rock citizenry. Oh, and here's a bonus lesson that Larry Harvey didn't say, but I'm sure he'd agree with. No matter how tough it gets, for the sake of civic morale, never cancel the fireworks. For Time.com, I'm Craig Duff, Black Rock City, Nevada.